Hi everyone, this is Vinod Kumar working as a senior application developer. Today we are going to see how you are going to handle your PLC a command using your hand glitches as well as the Azure OpenAI services. Okay, that's the two way you can implement your PLC things, right? So one thing like creating your own hand glitches command for the PLC and then turn on, turn off, and all switch off conditions you can make it through the PLC. Now, another way you have to feed the instructions to Azure OpenAI services, and then the Azure OpenAI assistance is going to be do a performance of PLC turn on and turn off conditions for you guys instead of feeding the constant value of command to turning on and turning off the conditions to the PLC. And that is what we are going to do today. Without wasting time, we are getting into the lab section and see like how he is going to be perform the action now. Okay, so first thing, like we are in the Azure portal, I'm logging through with my personal account. You can see right that is my Gmail account. I logged in it without wasting time because these are all a session which I've already covered in my previous things is previous videos. And yeah, I'm going into this one, Azure OpenAI services. I'm not sure why this is scanning pinning. Let's pin this one, right? Okay, we'll see that later then. Okay, fine. You can see right the Kavin Kumar OpenAI, that is my OpenAI services which I've created, and you can see these are all the information while clicking the win endpoint, and you can see the endpoint. And same thing, right? So I'm moving on to the services back again. And here few information you can found it, right? Resource group which I have created for Kamin Azure Open AI, and then endpoints you can found here, and the manage case also you can found here. And these are very basic informations after creating your after you created with your Azure OpenAI services. And here you can find an option to get into the Azure AI Foundry portal and look at this Foundry portal. Move to this AI Foundry and see that model catalog which I've created with GPT-4 version. Okay, that is the one which I've created. And while clicking the view code, and you can see this is the Entra ID authentications, and with a minimal amount of Python code, and you can easily integrate these things to your MVP projects. Okay, and moving on to the key authentications, and you can slightly come down and you can see that endpoint also been like looks like this, and you have to build this endpoint in this way. And you can found your API key, and this is the API key. This is more important. You have to like copy this API key and then save it somewhere else, so that you are going to be integrated with your code. Okay, so these are the settings, right? So first you have to create the OpenAI source, OpenAI services, and followed by your AI Foundry portal. Okay, coming to the AI Foundry portal, you have to create your model or choose any model from the chat, or maybe the model catalog of GPT, right? Okay, I'm closing this now. Okay, this is the very basic settings like what we saw in our previous sessions. Okay, if you missed it, just go and saw the previous part of my video so that you can easily find out how you're going to configure all those things now. Okay, and additionally, what I did right for this session, I have installed the Open Mod simulation. Okay, I'll show you where it like applicable and available. You can Google it to open mod sim. Okay, just going to this GitHub now. Right, so this is the open mod sim, kind of real GitHub product. And you can find out the release portion here, right? So click on the any one of release portion, and can you come down and you can find out the list of exe here, right? So it could be like adapt to any other any other like kind of an applications to any of the OS tools, right? It's so you can select whatever that exe which is suitable for your computer, and then download it and install it. So after install it, if you open this mod sim, so it will be look like this. and you can see that configuration connection here, and then you can connection to Modbus TCP server, and then COM3 and COM4. And if you click on the Modbus, and you can find out the server IP address, which is pointing out my local IP. And then Modbus service port, it should be like 502. It's a default, and I'm clicking on it OK now, and I'm just like configure the coil status now, because every PLC is going to be communicated with the coil status with zeros and ones binary. So I put it like length, because I have configured only two PLCs, PLC1s and PLC2. So PLC1 is going to be reflected in this way, and PLC2 is going to reflected in this value. So that is the idea, and the device ID and based everything is like ash common. So you can configure it. It's a very basic configurable value. Okay, the address base is nothing but your based of zeros and ones, and then start address is nothing but like you can set the start address to be like 401 and 402, and or maybe you can change this to one, like this. It depends on your convenient how the address is going to be populated, right? So I'm not running the script now. These are the very basic. Okay, so it's very simple. You can find out the this exe, and then download the exe, and install that mod sim, and go back to the connection, and then open the connection, and then open this modbus TCP, and then choose your local IP, and make sure you are connecting with the 502 port. Okay, that's it. So we are set up with the two things. One is like Azure portal, creating very basic OpenAI services, and followed by my Azure OpenAI Studio. I just choose one model, Chat GPT-4 model, and then I have surf the open mod simulations, and then download one simulation, open mod simulations, and install it, and it looks like this. It's kind of a tool, and it's look like this, and open it, and then make the connection to your Modbus TCP server with your local hoster. That's it. These are the three things you have to set before getting into the code. Okay,